Welcome back. Tracy with Art Books for Creativity. I am back this week with a single book on a single subject matter, and that book is called Pigments of Your Imagination, Creating with Alcohol Inks. The artist's name is Kathy Taylor, and this book is a little bit older book. It was published in 2015. And it's the only book that I have on alcohol inks. Now, I am not a typical alcohol ink artist. It's not something I do really in my practice daily, but I have used them extensively with polymer clay. And it was a lot of fun to put it on raw polymer clay, and then you would bake it in your toaster oven, and that would actually help seal the inks right down into the clay. The reason why I have this book now is a friend gifted it to me, and I do love it for inspiration. The colors are amazing in this book, as are the techniques. And I think if you don't have alcohol inks, you might be able to do some of these same types of techniques with maybe watercolor or acrylic inks. But alcohol inks are definitely a very special thing, and turns out they can be used on a lot of different substrates. So let's take a look inside the book, and I'll show you some of the pictures from it. One of the things that I think is important when you have a book on any kind of art technique or medium is to have a page where they list out materials and tools. Very important. You want to know what you're getting into and what sort of tools you already have. Maybe you need to go and buy some more. And this is also one of those things that I look for when I'm buying an art book, especially an art instruction book. This artist did a very good job of laying things out and just showing various different techniques and all the possibilities for working with this medium. I'm gonna go to one page in particular that I really liked, and these are called Inkscapes. And you can see here that she is creating landscapes with the alcohol ink. Most artists who work in alcohol ink, they work on a paper called Yupo paper. It is a synthetic paper. It's like a plastic. I personally haven't worked on it, but I know a few people who do, and it's just very different. But there's people that use other types of substrates, fabric. Like I used to put it on polymer clay. This is one of the reasons why I like alcohol inks. If you can look a little closer, there's some beautiful, beautiful bright colors in here. And I think what I like about this as well is I'm also a silk painter. I see a lot of similarities in not only the color, but when you drop silk dye onto silk, it behaves a lot the same exact way. You can drop colors next to each other and some of them will blend, and there's different properties in the silk dyes, and they will make interesting little lines, and just it really is a surprise. And I think that's what alcohol inks are. You can work with them and you get a really pleasant surprise. So they're not as easy to control as other art materials, but if you like the element of surprise and you like the material to sort of take over and do its thing, and it's kind of magical actually to watch the process, you might really like working with alcohol inks. Let's see, I'll find another page that I earmarked. I thought this was kind of an interesting application for the alcohol inks, and that is on metal. And it looks like this is a soft enough metal that she was able to impress some shapes in there. You know, just looks like she might have been able to do some stamping and then applying the alcohol ink. So not only are you getting those incredible colors, but you're getting that beautiful sheen from the metal, which probably has its own great look as well. Different applications. All right, so let's get another page. Here she is applying alcohol inks to a piece of porcelain tile. I have seen a lot of people do this, and then they seal them up really well, and you can make your own coasters with this. So I think that's a great idea as well. Now, another thing I like when I see a book like this is a glossary of terms, as well as a page dedicated to resources. So if you're going to get into something like alcohol inks, at least you can find out as well here who you're going to source a lot of your materials from. I do see alcohol inks in some of the craft stores. Art supply stores will definitely have them. Stamping stores will have alcohol inks. So there's a whole world of stamping with inks as well. I think it started actually as more of a craft medium, but now there are artists who are taking it up to an artist level type of medium. This page here, there's several guest artists in this book, and I think that's also nice too. When an artist and an author includes other artists in the book, then you get a chance to see, well, what are these artists creating with this same medium, and what different looks are you going to be able to get with this medium? Everybody's brain thinks differently. We all have our own creative process and our own styles, our own color palettes that we like to work with. So I think that's actually a really smart thing to do when you're putting a book together, is include the work of some other people. That way it gives you some other ideas. So this book, like I said, was published in 2015 by Schiffer Press. Kathy Taylor is the artist, and yeah, here's another wonderful close-up. So I think probably the fun of this, you can control it. She's got paintings of flowers and landscapes in here as well. I know an artist who's over in Wisconsin, and she does the most incredible abstracted landscapes and abstracts, and they're all alcohol ink on aluminum, and she seals them up. I have one in my guest bedroom. I absolutely love it. The metal has its own glow to it. The alcohol inks are so transparent, yet the colors are strong. It just has its own very unique look. So again, there's an example too of an artist who is using it for fine art, for wall paintings. So again, pigments of your imagination, creating with alcohol inks. If you like this and think you want to get this book, you know what the resources are: Amazon, and I love thrift books as well. So you can find this book and buy one for yourself, and have a great rest of your week.